Biggie, Nick, Nakia Jones will be joining me shortly. Today is a special episode. It's actually our 10th episode so far. It's a milestone for us, but unfortunately today we got to come on a somber note. As many of you know, and we will be dedicating this podcast to him, the late, the great, rather, Muhammad Ali passed away last night at the age of 74. The sports world, just the world in general, is mourning right now. The greatest, not just fighters, but human beings ever lived. Muhammad Ali was a great man, and we definitely want to pay some homage to him today. Throughout the show, we'll bring him up. We're going to start off with some NBA action. The NBA Finals is underway. The Cleveland Cavaliers lost Game 1 in part, really, to some great bench play by the Golden State Warriors. Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston really just lit up the place. Sean Livingston ended up with 20 points and really was able to save the day. Here's what he had to say when talking to ESPN's Doris Burke.
Sean, there was a point in the third quarter where the Cavs had closed to within 2, and you went on a 21-4 run with 17 of those coming from your bench. What was your second unit able to take advantage of there?
Just being aggressive. It's what we did all year. You know, Andre was great. Barbosa was great tonight. And, we just feed off of each other and we just play well.
You got to your game a career high in the playoffs for you. What specifically was working?
The mid-range jumper, bread and butter. But just trusting my game, being aggressive, and just having confidence.
How significant is the defense you're getting from
So there you have it. Sean Livingston's take on what he was able to do in the game. Like I said, he had 20 points. His mid-range jumper was working. And this game was close for a long time, especially in that third quarter before things got way out of hand. The Cavs and the Warriors were trading baskets back and forth, a 1-point lead. And then all of a sudden, boom, a couple key stops by Andre Iguodala and LeBron James. And a hot hand from Sean Livingston, and what was a 1-point lead ballooned up to 10, 12, 13, and it was all she wrote from that point on. The Cavs just weren't able to bring it back. An interesting note is Klay Thompson and Steph Curry only combined for 20 points together. That's their lowest point total for the entire season so far this year. So it has to be noted that the Cavs did what they needed to do as far as shutting those two down, but the bench, oh my goodness, the bench just went off. The Cavs bench was outscored 45-10 in Game 1. That cannot happen if the Cavs are going to have any chance in this series. Because imagine if the bench is still hot and Klay and Steph are able to find their rhythm. It just doesn't look good. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in that effect. But from the hardwood to the gridiron, a little NFL news. The Pro Bowl has moved to Orlando this season from the usual Hawaii, and they're going back to the usual format of AFC versus NFC. Lately, the last few seasons, they were picking teams, getting celebrities, Hall of Famers to pick teams, and then that's how they would divide the teams. And you just pick from all the best players. Now they're going back to AFC versus NFC and a more traditional style of playing the Pro Bowl, so we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of excited to see it that way. That's the way I grew up on watching it. And also, I think a change of scenery would be nice. Everybody's used to Hawaii and that whole thing, so Orlando might be different. They got Disney World down there. So it should be fun for the players. It's still a great vacation spot. I know a lot of the players like to use that time in Hawaii when they go to, let that be their vacation. And joining us, we got Nikia Jones. I told you she'd be coming, ladies and gentlemen. Nick, what's going on?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing good. To catch up to speed, I went over a little bit of basketball while I was waiting for you to join us. The NBA Finals, being 1-0 in favor of the Golden State Warriors, and I was just alluding to the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers are in a heap of trouble if the bench for the Warriors stays hot like it did. Like I mentioned, they outscored the Cavs 45-10 just on the reserve players. And imagine if Steph and Clay would have actually been on their game and not combined for 20 points. I mean, that game could have gotten bad. So if that's the case, I think the Cavs are in a lot of trouble. I don't know about you.
That is correct. I can agree with that.
I'm pretty sure you can.
And I want the Cavs to be off their game, to be honest. I want Golden State to win it all.
Yeah, you made that opinion known recently over the last few shows. I was telling everybody this is actually the 10th podcast I've done, number 10. So this is a little bit of a milestone, and I'm not up to date. Your woman, you probably can remind me on how many we've done together. I'm bad with things like that, but I'm pretty sure I think it's probably up to 5 or something like that. 5
yes.
or 6.
Yes.
Okay. So, right before you joined us, I was also talking about the NFL. I was eager to get your opinion on the going back to the traditional style for the Pro Bowl, going the NFC versus the AFC, no longer picking captains, and also the move from Hawaii to Orlando. You think that's going to affect any players' vacation hopes? I was saying I think Orlando is just as good a vacation spot as Hawaii. Maybe not as tropical, but still nice to go to Florida.
I think Hawaii is beautiful to see, and I hear if you can get there one day, to definitely go and do Hawaii. But I think Orlando won't be too much of a disappointment. It'll be, I guess, for some of the players who have families, it might be more family friendly because you can do the theme parks, you could do, do it up Disney, basically. So it'll be a good move family wise. And I was looking at the events and stuff they have. They have a lot of events going on when the Pro Bowl comes to Orlando. So it's very family friendly. It's very kid friendly. So I think them going there won't be that big of a deal. So
okay,
might a little less surfing, more walking, I guess, and enjoying Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. So
Yeah.
also on the NFL front, and me and you were kind of joking about this in our, setup for this week's show. Nick Foles is doing his best Sam Bradford imitation. How do you feel about that? Apparently, Nick
Oh,
Foles hasn't shown up to anything either since the Rams picked the quarterback with the #1 overall pick. How do you feel about Nick Foles, of all people, thinking he's got the right to pull a Sam Bradford and not show up somewhere?
Nick Foles. What can I say? Did Bradford paved the way to me?
He paved the way.
Like,
no
what's going?
He wrote the book with no showing.
What's going on? I mean, I think a lot of times, I'm trying to formulate my words here. A lot of times people forget their roots and where they come from, and sometimes let money skew their vision on things. So with the whole Nick Foles thing, I know management is saying that he's still our guy. It's kind of good that he's not here because we have 3 quarterbacks, and it's like, when will he get time? And there's so many people and reps and this and that here. So in a way, it's a good thing that he's not there or taking a break but I think this part of the season is crucial because you've been on the off season, you're reformulating your training, you're reformulating your strategies, you're reading the playbook, you're getting your body ready and geared towards being in shape, and you're bonding with your teammates. So I think this is really, I guess, the glue almost that holds the team together at times like this in the preseason, because then you get the mesh. So if you're skipping practice and giving a big FU to the team, like, I mean, at least he don't seem like he was as much as a drama queen as Bradford was, as far as not answering phone calls, or at least he may not have been now. Maybe he was at first. But I mean, this is the time to get it in motion. Like, get your gears and get your body in motion, really. So I think it's hard because, like I said, you're trying to get that bond and everything together so y'all can have a good season.
Yeah, it must be something going around the NFL, man. Sam Bradford and Nick Foles is singing, "These teams ain't loyal."
They singing something. Put some respect on it. Something.
Put some respect on their name.
Yes. So they're singing a tune of a different
put some respect on my name.
Or the horse of a different color, as they were saying in Wizard of Oz. But I'm
put some respect on my name. You understand?
Our fault, because
put some respect
this thing or these type of attitudes very well could have been going on in the Reggie White, Randall Cunningham day, but it wasn't social media as prevalent as it is now. So, I mean,
you're absolutely right. Are they getting more shine because of it? I think so. I think you're definitely on to something.
So, I mean, Randall Cunningham or somebody could have had the biggest attitude ever, but we technically didn't know that, or at least towards his teammates. We didn't technically know that because social media wasn't like it is now. I mean, it's your urge to tweet and be on Instagram and Facebook and have a fan page and have this. And if you're not updating it fast enough, it's like, well, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? I'm working. Like, I'm working.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Randall, because I was watching a documentary on him not too long ago, he definitely was ahead of the curve as far as that. Because it seemed like every week he had a hat displaying his displeasure with how things were going. About getting mad about getting hurt and not liking how the coach was using him. And y'all tell me not to run, but I got hurt in the pocket. Y'all should have let me run. And then, so he was ahead of his curve as far as doing that. I could hate to see how he would have been if he had a Twitter page at that point. He probably would have been really letting the air out. But he had all types of hats voicing his displeasure. Like you said, It's a new day and age now, and a lot more of these disgruntled employees are making it known via the social media outlets.
Most definitely.
So, from the sports, and before we completely leave the sports range, I know I spoke on it earlier. I just wanted to give you your piece and just express how you felt hearing about the passing of the great Muhammad Ali. If you had any thoughts on it.
Muhammad Ali, he was, I guess you would say, when it came to boxing, he was a king to our heart, really. To me, he was a great boxer. He was somebody who, being as young as I was, I mean, names like Arthur Ashe and Muhammad Ali, like I said before, Randall Cunningham, Reggie White, those, Michael Jordan, those names. And he was just such a great asset in the ring and outside of the ring. So it's just sad that he lost his battle with Parkinson's and whatever other health issues he may have developed over the years and what was going on. But it was a sad day in the sports field.
Yeah. And like you said, beyond sports, what he did for civil rights and standing up for what he believed in is to be commended. Somebody that's not going to let peer pressure bog him down, or the needing to be politically correct, if you will, change the way he felt about his beliefs and what he thought was right, and standing up for it. And like I said, it's to be commended. So definitely beautiful words on your part about Muhammad Ali. And toward the end of the show, we are going to give him his due. We do got a nice run of sound clips and some of everybody's favorite quotes of Muhammad Ali that we'll spill off, and I'll let play us out later on. But from there, we do go to some more hot topics that have happened throughout the week. Some things that kind of bridge from what we talked about, what we've been talking about the last few weeks, and some new stuff. Third off is something we did broach the subject last week as we went off air, was Roots debuted on Memorial Day, Monday, the new reboot of Roots, and not everybody was happy about it. Rapper Snoop Dogg actually said we should boycott Roots. He actually said there was no reason for it. We don't need to see that. How come every time we get put in something, it's always some slave movie? We're tired of seeing slave movies. Why can't they show movies, TVs of all the positive stuff we're doing right now, all the uplifting stuff we're doing right now? And also, Earl and Martin actually had a rebuttal for Snoop to say to put your money where your mouth is. If that's how you feel, then you should be trying to executive produce and budget these projects you're trying to see. Don't just talk about it, be about it. So I wanted to know your opinion on people actually wanting to not just not watch it like I suggested, because I didn't really want to watch it unless I was just trying to see the different characters and be nostalgic, because I grew up, I watched the original from the first one all the way to the end, whether I wanted to or not, via school, via private time, what have you. But I just wanted to know your thoughts on people taking it to the point where they think they need to protest the Roots movie.
I think by mean a protest, they just meant maybe they thought it was coming into the theaters. I don't know. It was just a made for TV special, like the original. However, I know we had got cut off, and the way I was saying, I felt like LeVar Burton when he was saying his first thing when they called him to say, we're going to do a Roots remake. We would like for you to be on board with this. And he was like, why? And I heard it. I thought the same thing. But the way he explained it was, a lot of this generation is so far removed from the stories that we grew up on. It was crucial to remake it with some new faces. I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to dedicate like a weekend to watch it or something. So I haven't seen it yet, but I know, as far as I know, they're sticking to the original storyline, plot, and everything. They're just not, they just changed it up with some faces and some of the old faces like his in the new remake. Yeah. And like the, one of the stars of, what's her name? Anna Paquin? I don't know right? She knew nothing about Root. I mean, in a way, you kind of say, okay, she's white, so what would she know? But at the same time, she knew nothing about the story. So her coming in, she had fresh eyes. She brought fresh ideas and, something else to the casting. So I think since we're older, we might not agree with it and might not want it, but somebody from this generation might click. It might click to them. It might resonate with them. It might change their outlook and path and everything because it's history. And we might not want to admit it. We might want to be as far removed from it as we can. But at the same time, this generation needs to know. Do you sit down and have a conversation with your kids about slavery, about the Holocaust, about any
you're right.
from history that has happened? Because a lot of times, I'm sorry to say, I was almost falling asleep or daydreaming when it came to history class. I haven't gotten as involved in history until I got older, but it's like I said, it's like, are you sitting down and doing it?
Yeah, you're right.
With your children, with your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren. Mm-hmm. You have to sit down and talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
for me, I'm starting to soften my stance. I'm going to try to check out some more of it. I did see a little bit of it the first night, but didn't really sit through a lot. I'm going to try to check out some more of it. For me, on LeVar Burton, though, it's hard for me to trust LeVar Burton. I mean, I saw him in Roots. Next thing I know, he was on reading Rainbow.
My God.
I'm like, you reading?
Yeah,
Kunta, how you reading?
He how to read.
I'm like, Kunta, how you reading? Master go get you.
You got to teach the kids how to read.
Kunta ain't supposed to be reading. That's against the law.
Oh, my gosh. But
anyway, moving on. We've been talking about all the LGBTQ as B-Dot Bottles, who isn't with us tonight.
That's what it's labeled as. That's what it's labeled as.
We a little short rant on what people have seen to be a lesbian sighting in the upcoming Disney film Finding Dory. Is it overblown? Is it much to do about nothing? Or do you think that was a deliberate thing that Disney was trying to do?
Well, when you first told me about it, I'm thinking, this is exactly what we were talking about. Oh my gosh. Like, I thought maybe they were, I don't know. My mind just ran from there. But I don't see how you can base what looks to be a lesbian. Like, what does a lesbian look like? All lesbians don't have shaved down fades.
Exactly.
All lesbians have hair down to their ankles. All that. So to me, I mean, for you to speculate that they're lesbians, how do you know? Exactly. I mean, are you wearing a gay pride T-shirt? Like, how do you know?
Exactly. And to let the viewers in, what was there's a part of the trailer for the movie is at an aquarium type setting, and there are what look to be two women standing there with their child, and one of the women does have a shorter haircut and would resemble what would be stereotypical, I would say, of a lesbian woman. It doesn't necessarily mean they are two lesbians or that woman is gay at all. It's just from what we would stereotypically say is what a lesbian woman may look like. So, like you said, it's in the eye of the beholder. It depends on how far you're willing to go with what you think is the typical look, or if you're trying to follow the stereotype of what a lesbian woman may look, dress, and act like. Moving along from that, we also have another sad story of gun problems and professional athletes.
Young professional
athletes. New Orleans Pelicans guard was shot dead entering an apartment earlier this week. It was a case of mistaken identity. He was actually entering the wrong apartment, so he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. The person thought he was an intruder and shot him. It just speaks to, I don't know if this is another cause where we need to talk about gun control and getting some of these guns, or some type of awareness as far as people thinking before they shoot. It's like we're living in the wild, wild west these days, and it's shoot first, ask questions later. I don't know your opinion on that, Nikki Nick.
I don't think so, because I know it sounds cliche. Guns kill people, or people don't kill people, whatever it is.
It's guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Yes, whatever it is.
Whatever.
But my whole take is, I know there are laws to protect an intruder as well as there are laws to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything wrong with it if you are properly trained, if your gun is away or somewhere where you know it is, out of reach of children. So, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with having a gun in your house and using it to defend yourself or just to have it. I grew up in a house with guns because my father is a deputy sheriff. So I was never afraid of guns. I was curious as a child, but it wasn't like I was going to mishandle it or anything in any way. I really never knew where my dad's gun was. I knew it was in the house somewhere, but I didn't know where it was or anything like that.
I was about to say, I thought you was the shorty that be fronting on the dude she talking to who want to act like he gangster. Yeah, I got a gun. Boy, my daddy gun bigger than that. You better go ahead. You ain't.
I have said that before, but so I mean, I guess in a way, I'm not scared of guns, so I like guns. To be honest, just as my fascination with cars, I have a fascination with guns. So I mean, hey, but I think with the proper safety precautions and everything, you have the right to defend. You had the right to defend yourself.
I believe that. And speaking of defending oneself, and you actually told me about this story. A husband maybe facing murder charges, or at least manslaughter charges, for defending his wife who was being raped and beating the attacker or alleged rapist to death. Nick, how do you feel about that? You think he should be getting charged?
No, because
I didn't think
wife had a split second or enough time to get that attacker either distracted or whatever she had to do to call her husband to come back home. So that's a man's natural response a lot of times, even if it's not your wife. Yeah. If somebody's in trouble, you're going to try to help. You're going to be their protector and jump in and step in. And for him to, where's the Good Samaritan laws or whatever that they have out here? Like, somebody needs to be advocating for this man, because I don't see any harm in it. You would do the same thing if you walked in and you saw your mother being attacked or raped, your grandmother, your sister, somebody. You can't say that you will logically think, okay, let me hit him enough to get him off, or hit him enough to get him away, or whatever the case may be. Like, you're going for blood. Like, you had the audacity to come in my house and no, you're going for blood.
Yeah.
So they need to implement some Good Samaritan laws for him.
Yeah.
And get him out of jail so him and his wife can live happily ever after.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. So, it was definitely a good look that he was able to save his wife and be her hero. And speaking of good looks and bad looks, we're going to get into this good look, bad look countdown. First off, and this is interesting, I need to know, Nikki, do you think it's a good look or a bad look that we're getting a play-by-play, it seemed like every other day, from the Eagles workouts on Wentz out playing Bradford and Bradford out playing Wentz? Like, do we need to hear this? Can we get, something conclusive at the end of it? And then you tell me who the guy is? Because now it's like every week I'm hearing a different story. I heard Wentz was out playing Bradford, and then I get a clip from the coach telling me Bradford is, oh, wow, how fast he's picking up the playbook and picking up the offense. I'm like, all right, so who's the guy? Is it a good look or a bad look that we keep getting these updates as often as we're getting them? and making our heads spin.
Like I said, we live in the age of drama and social media and all of that. So I guess that's what it is, the media frenzy. Maybe they're trying to keep us on our toes and make us, I don't know what they're trying to do, but
So, final verdict. Good look, bad look.
it's just a bad look for the Eagles right now. It just looks like so much controversy is going on in the bird's nest that it's like, are y'all going to break out fighting midfield? Like, what's going on?
I do have to say what a good look is I did get a chance to see, I don't know if you saw it, Carson Wentz touchdown celebration, and I'm liking it. It's a good look.
Oh, his touchdown dance.
Yeah, he gets his flap on, and then has a little muscle flex at the end.
No, okay.
So I like it. So we're both in agreement that that's a bad look. Next, after we earlier I wrote up some basketball in the NBA Finals. The person not playing in the NBA Finals, Kevin Durant, who's also thinking of leaving Oklahoma City. Would it be a good look or a bad look if Kevin Durant threw his cards in and said, "I'm out of here"?
Kevin Durant. I mean,
easy money sniper.
I know. Reading the story, it was just like it's a no-brainer, I guess, for most people that you would just stay where you are. You'll have guaranteed like 200 and something million. I think I wrote down or something like. So it's like, what are you throwing your cards in now? Because 227 million. Are you throwing your cards in because you're being a sore loser right now, or are you really thinking of your career and everything in your best interest at heart? So, I mean, I guess he'll have to think about it. They said he'll be a free agent, so I don't know if he's going to go back or if he's going to be shopping around for another team. But I mean, kind of right now it's starting to look like a bad look.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think it's a bad look only because they were as close can be to knocking off the defending champs. I mean, they were up 3-1. They had everything in their favor, and to turn away now and say that's as good as we're going to get, I think maybe a little bit premature. And he does have the one thing, like you said, he's guaranteed the most money if he does. He's also guaranteed the most money if he stays in town. The way currently free agency is set up in the NBA is you would make the most by staying where you are. It's usually right now, I think it's somewhere in between 15 to 16 million more if you stay where you are than if you leave. So it would be a bad look if he went elsewhere to me at this point. Moving on from the NBA to the NCAA and a few coaches with some Twitter fingers. Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh and Alabama coach Nick Saban have been beefing over Twitter. These two grown men, two head football coaches who are well-known, well-respected, great recruiting classes, and they're going at each other over Twitter like two hip-hop stars. How you feel about that, Nikki?
I mean, drama. I guess drama sells. Like we've been saying, drama sells, and we live in a social media age. That's all I can say. I mean, it's a bad look considering that you're a coach, but I guess, hey, like they say, Twitter fingers turn into trigger fingers, so they better watch out.
Yeah, I would hate to see what happens if both of those teams meet up in the college football playoffs and the press conferences we can expect from those two. Those are two hotheads, two honorary guys, energetic guys, especially Jim Harbaugh. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's competitive as hell. He's ready to go. He's not pulling any punches, and I think he's had about enough of the supposed dominance that everybody says is coming from the SEC and Alabama and how they're so much better than everybody else. So I can't wait to see how this ends. I can't wait to see what transpires between them two. They're definitely two electric personalities, and it should be real fun. So
agreed.
Before we get out of here, that was our good look, bad look countdown. I wanted to ask you if you heard any good news from today and also throughout this entire weekend. Is the Roots Picnic? You heard any of the latest and greatest from down there? I mean, I've been keeping track of it a little bit. Some people seem to have fun. I got some friends of mine that were down there today and will be down there tomorrow as well, enjoying the festivities.
I have not. I've heard the other end of it, the frustration from the transit drivers. So I've heard that end of it, but I have not heard how fun or what artist was better than the other. I have not heard that yet. So maybe after this weekend, of course, I'll hear about it. But so far, no, I have not.
All right. So that's probably what's going to do it for us at the RoboWriter Podcast. Like I said, I'm going to let you get out of here and spend the rest of this time playing some great Muhammad Ali quotes. As always, I've been Rob Whitney. That is Nikki Nick. And we're going to see you next week.
All right. Have a good weekend.
I know difference. Why I can't go here? Why I can't listen to this? Well, what is it to this? It makes me check it more. I don't have to be what you want me to be. I'm free to be what I want to be and think what I want to think.
The biggest thing in the world is a heavyweight champion. And I'm not just going to be an ordinary heavyweight champion. I'm going to be the greatest of all.
I saw Sonny Liston a few days ago, Cash.
Ain't he ugly? He's too ugly to be the world champ. The world champ should be pretty like me.
Well, he told me to bet my life that you wouldn't go 3 rounds.
Well, if you want to lose your money, then bet on Sonny.
I'm the champ. Get your ass whooped.
How they gonna dance? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble.
I predict that tonight somebody will die at ringside from shock. It's a Jake.
I was dancing, sticking and dancing.
Did you kill him, Jake?
$15 million.
You the greatest, baby. Yeah, you greatest. You the greatest.
Man.
You the greatest.
I didn't stop him. I sent him to the hospital. I gotta be fair. I gotta be fair. Oh, it feels so good to be able to holler when you know you're bad.
That we are not was 4/100ths of a second, which is an eye blink, like a camera flash. That's 400ths of a second. Now, the minute I hit Sonny Liston, all of those people blinked at that moment. That's why they didn't see the phone. I swear. And if you watch the film close, you gotta hold your eyes and keep looking.
I used to go around saying I'm the greatest, but that's something I don't use no more. Allah is the greatest. God is the greatest. I'm not the greatest.
And every time we watch television, they show us Tarzan and the natives and the jungles. They never told us that the Africans were more intelligent than we are. They speak English. They speak English, French, and African. We can't even speak English good. You told them I don't have nothing but a prayer. Well, chump, all I need is a prayer, because if that prayer reached the right man, not only will George Foreman fall, but mountains will fall. And you're always talking about Muhammad. You're not the same man you were 10 years ago. Well, I asked your wife, and she told me you're not the same man you were 2 years ago. I was going to defeat that big, indestructible George Foreman. I was going to rip him up. I was going to get him for the spawn point. My dreams all messed up for 6 more weeks. The man's in trouble. The man is scared. He's in my country to start with. It's in my country. You want to see? Want me to show you it's in my country? Ali Boomerang. Ali Boomerang. Ali Boomerang.
This is the hardest hitter since Marciano. This man is greater than Joe Louis. I've been reading what you're saying. They say he's fat. Look at me now. Don't tell me that ain't a perfect specimen of a man. Look at that body. Slim, trim, and on my toes. Oh, I'm on my toes now. Oh, I'm on my previous fight show where he stands in the corner. I did that on purpose, man. Can I dance? Is the Pope a Catholic?
Fight for the prestige, not for me, but to uplift my little brothers who are sleeping in concrete floors today in America. Black people who are living on welfare. Black people who can't eat. Black people who don't know no knowledge of themselves. Black people who don't have no future. I want to win my title and walk down the alleys, sit on the garbage can with the wine heads. I want to walk down the street with the dope addicts, talk to the prostitutes, so I can help a lot of people. Ali, Boomerang. Boy, when I hear them brothers hollering like that, woo, I'm going to get my soul and my spirit. 100,000 African brothers hollering Ali Boomerang, and I'm tired. I just can't take it no more. Let me get out of here. I got to get out of here. I'm going over to my room. I'll talk to y'all later.
Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. It's the combination.
You saw all the white people, the critics, the world had me ranked to go down. This was that man, and Allah, God was with me, and this man looked like nothing. That's right. Well, I want you to remember that. Want to know where I get the power? Visit your local Muslim mosque. Read that Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Right. Take it from me.
That just proves you can have commercials on closed-circuit television just as you can have it on real television. Muhammad, what did you say to George?
It's not a commercial telling people to believe in God. I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see.
Ain't nothing. You too ugly to represent us color folks.